Yo, welcome back to another trade recap. Today is going to be a bit different because I didn't do a trade recap for Thursday and Friday, even though I took a trade. Now, this is because I was on sort of like a holiday and I didn't really get to make the video, right? So I'm just going to do that today. Alright, Thursday, took a dub. Friday, took an L. Not 2 hours on Friday, but since I was doing something different on Fridays, I de-risked like heavy, and so we're just gonna go over the day. This is on FX replay because I didn't journal because I was outside, like away from my PC, where I usually would journal, but obviously I wasn't there for it. So I was trading on my iPad basically, and yeah. So going into the day, what I saw was on the 4 hour a 4 hour BISI, and no BISI on ES, and 1 hour going low to the 1 hour. We had a 1 hour change in the state. We had this London low and Asia low, London low and Asia low on both ES and NQ, and we also have SMT at these highs right here. So I would want to see an inefficiency be rebalanced to, or equilibrium be tapped, right? So at market open, we get already just a quick displacement down on the 15-minute, SMT at the highs again. So we also have London low and Asia low target, and again same thing here. Order flow is bearish here. It's showing us that it wants to take out some sort of internal sell side before going higher to the actual draw, which is higher, right? And that's because obviously high time frame we are bullish. So I wanted to see this 4 hours BISI be tapped into, and it didn't happen on NQ, but it did happen on ES, although it didn't have that 4 hour BISI. But this 4 hour BISI, the 4 hour BISI aligns with London low, which did get taken out after the fact, right? And here 9:30 opens, we have some sort of accumulation right here, and we keep going, and we get a manipulation of this high. We get a resweep over here on NQ, but on ES we do make equal highs, or relatively equal highs up here, and then we come up again and resweep that. We have a BISI right here, and I want to see that inversed, and I'd want to target London and Asia low, and that's exactly what I did. So that's exactly what happened. London, not London, we had the setup and took it to London and Asia low. However, what I did wrong here was that I didn't take all off at London low and Asia low, right? So I took a partial here at Asia, and I took another partial at London, or London and then Asia. My mistake was leaving runners on, and why is that? Because we don't have any drawn liquidities below that. The drawn liquidity was purely London and Asia low. So that was my mistake, and the reason why is because I was trading on my iPad, so I kind of assumed that there was more hourly lows, and just just took it off of that. I don't know. It was a stupid thing to do. Next time, obviously, shouldn't happen again, and won't happen again. But yeah, so it would have been a little bit more than, rather 600 instead of 400, or maybe 700 perhaps. But yeah, so I'm going to show you the execution here. It was on the S&P instead of the Nasdaq. So right here, change in the state, inversion, entry, 16 micros, and we go lower, and we get, we took 11 off, some at London low and some at Asia low, but we left 5 micros to run, which is again my mistake, but yeah, it wouldn't happen again. It shouldn't happen again. And now the second thing was also we never actually ended up tapping that 4-hour BISI, I don't think. Let me see. Yeah, we never actually ended up tapping that 4-hour BISI, neither did we go to EQ, which is kind of like a bit like of a problem. This is not, there it is. So we never end up going back to rebalance to equilibrium, which kind of sucks because that was kind of the whole point. But at the same time, we don't really need to go back to equilibrium in a way because we've already taken out Asia and London low. That's basically the target. And we've also rebalanced into this inefficiency here. So I'll show you here. We've rebalanced into that inefficiency. So we've kind of done everything that we've needed to do. Okay. Furthermore, we've got this as an equilibrium range. We're in discount here. We have SMT at the lows, and there is a reason to go higher because of this 4-hour change, as well as this 4-hour BISI, as well as these 1-hour BISIs holding. And yeah, so overall there was reason for both sides. My reasoning to be short was simply because we had that 1-hour change, and also 15-minute order flow was being respected, and especially on ES over here, I was looking at this SIBI right here, where we had the model form, internal pollution, change in state, inversion. So that was basically the model, right? Anything else? Yeah, the only problem is that we didn't really rebalance to equilibrium, and the inefficiency we kind of have already rebalanced to. So the only like reason why I kind of like I'm confused about it is because we were there just purely to hunt liquidity instead of rebalancing to an inefficiency or equilibrium. So that's kind of what sucks about it. Again, hindsight wise, I feel like maybe I don't know. Point is, yeah, SMT at the lows. There was reason for both sides, so yeah, can't really blame that much on price there. And then on ES we had an entry on Friday on the 5-second chart. Now I am starting to use the 5-second chart more, and the reason being that I don't really get to trade that much. My trade frequency is averaging right now like once or twice a week, right? So I'm wanting to go into these lower time frames because price is fractal, right? And denying like my trading or the frequency of the trades, even so, like even because they're like in lower time frame conditions, it's kind of like unfair, right? And obviously it could be kind of confused by me just really wanted to get into a trade, and I feel like this is what it was today, right? On Friday, right? Because going into this 5 second chart without like not no experience with it, because I have been backtesting the 15 second, 30 second, 5 second, and from those who like see the data collection series videos, you would see that a lot of the time it shows up on the seconds time frame. So, and it works out, right? So why did it not work out on here? Now the reason is because it's the 5 second, right? It's really small compared to the 1 minute, and using what I was using at least was a 15-minute BISI, right? And compared to the 5 second, that's like a lot of multiplied, like 15 times 60. I already searched it up, yeah. So 15 times 60, 900. That's 900 seconds divided by 5. That's 180 times the amount of time frame, right? Now at the my Siri just okay. So compared to using the 1 minute to the 4 hour, so that's also 240 times, right? So in a way, obviously it's not that bad, but you've also got to realize that, wait, where am I going with this? 15 times by 60 is 900 seconds. Yeah, so divide that by 5 is 180. Yeah. So compared to the 4 hour, so using the 4 hour, actually, maybe not. Maybe I'm like kind of talking out my ass right now. I think that maybe the actual problem is maybe like not waiting for the minutely time frame to align with the 5 second as well, because there was no like real bullish order flow shift on the 1. So, but then again, that kind of contradicts as well, because sometimes you can use the 4 hour. I don't know. I'm still kind of figuring it out. I think I wrote it down on TradePath actually. Let me take a look at it. Here. And so not much going into the 4 hour. 1 hour we're in a buy model. Shorts don't really make sense. We go into the 15-minute BISI, and then so now I'm looking for longs. There's a very high probability since all time frames are bullish. We have everything. However, the reason for the loss was perhaps I was too zoomed in, but I also don't know when to go into that small time frame and take a trade through that. If it's not the same as the 1 minute, price is fractal, so there shouldn't be a difference in how I trade, except how I make decisions more quickly. Anyhow, everything was serious, so both shorts was on the shorts? Both longs was on the 5 second, but we get clean internal manipulation, then displacement above the change in the state. However, I think I was too zoomed in. Perhaps the problem was the 1 minute order flow is bearish, and that the 15-minute BISI is much more multiplied compared to the 5 second. And because of that, it doesn't make sense to use the 15-minute with the 5 second time frame, or perhaps not because there was a 5. I was kind of like, I don't know, hesitating in that sort of area. But next time, if I'm using the 5 second for entries, then I will wait for the 1 minute to show me that order flow has shifted. So at least a change in the state, right? So yeah, I kind of like rambled on about Friday, but yeah, I'm just gonna let you guys know where I'm at right now with the trades and stuff. Right now, sitting on the 70% win rate, not too shabby. I really like that actually, and yeah, so one losing day this whole month, but I have only traded 4 days, so kind of sucks. And yeah, after this I'm going to be doing another data series episode, so stay tuned. And yeah, hope you guys have had a amazing week. Comment, like, subscribe. Peace.